Hello everyone, I'm Penrose776. Welcome back to another legendary banner. This one I am very excited for. You know why? I'll tell you why, but not right now because, Guinevere? Is that Guinevere?
It would be my greatest joy.
It is! Oh, that is an interesting choice, a very interesting choice. I'll tell you why that's an interesting choice, because I think, anyway, yeah, hang on, am I correct on this? I think this is the first legendary to come from not actually a playable character in a Fire Emblem game, a character who's not one of those. Very interesting, if that's true. I might have just made that up, okay? So don't take this for granted or anything. Because again, these things launch at 4 AM, but that could be it. She is a colorless tome. She is water season, which is good. I need more characters for water season. She is armed with a radiant version of her regular tome, the Radiant Aureola. It is slaying, accelerate special trigger, pull out and count -1. It is effective against magic foes, which is a pretty unique effectiveness to have. If foe initiates combat or foe's HP is greater than or equal to 75% at start of combat, grants attack speed defense res +5 to unit, deals damage equal to 20% of unit's res, reduces damage from foe's attacks by 20% of unit's res, excluding area of effect specials, inflicts special cooldown charge -1 on foe per attack, only highest value applied, does not stack, and disables foe's effects to calculate damage using lower foe's defense or res, excluding when dealing damage with an area of effect special during combat. Okay, so breaking it down, slaying, magic effectiveness, +5 to all stats, 20% of res as damage, 20% of res as flat damage reduction, guard, and nullify adaptive damage. Pretty good. Nullifying adaptive damage isn't going to come up too often. Guard is actually very nice to have. 20% of units res as damage is great. 20% of units res as flat damage reduction. We already know how good flat damage reduction is. I mean, Joraska has a pretty similar effect, right? And then there's units like Dimitri and the rest of the Askas who get a lot from it, but we're going to get a reasonable amount from it here. The magic effectiveness is great, okay? Any effectiveness is great. Magic effectiveness, that being said, is well, I mean, it's still very good, especially since it's a rare effectiveness. It's not something that people are going to be prepared for normally, but right now it's maybe not the most absurd thing to come along with, just because most of the metagame at the moment isn't really magic per se. The amount of time you're going to be spending running into specifically magic tanks is not so high. But I mean, it's still cool. It's still very cool to have. And then +5 to all stats is normal. And the condition, if foe initiates combat, weird that they're making her enemy phasey. But then if foe's HP is greater than or equal to 75%, that's going to account for most of combat anyway, so it's not a huge issue. Iceberg as for special, looks like she's going to be a res-based unit, which makes sense. A slot, speed res finish 4. If units within free space of an ally, speed res +7, and if units special is ready or triggered before or during combat, +5 special damage and 7 HP healing on each hit, even if 0 damage is dealt. Finish skills are really good. Speed res is interesting because it kind of sounds like they don't really... I mean, it's a good combo to have, right? But you kind of... Are you really going speed res as the stat combo on this unit? Don't you want some attack? Maybe? I mean, speed is good, right? Speed is good, but I don't know if this is the best A slot for her necessarily. In the B slot, we have Null Sea Disrupt 4. Another B skill getting a tier 4 skill. Inflicts attack speed -4 on foe, neutralizes effects that prevent units counterattacks, and reduces damage from foe's first attack by 30% during combat. Okay, so Null Sea Disrupt got a fairly small glow up for its tier 4 skill. Basically just attack speed -4, I mean that's good, right? And damage reduction from foe's first attack 30% is okay. It's not a huge amount, but it's functional. It'll do something for you. And in the C slot we have Bern's New Way. A PRF C slot restores 7 hit points to allies within 3 spaces of unit after combat. Huh? I can't tell with the wording they use anymore. Is that a Breath of Life type effect? Or is that a Celine type effect? I really don't know. I guess we'll find out when she comes out and we can try her. Either way, that's neat. Of course, it's more powerful if it's a Celine type effect because it's giving your allies like more of a supportive ability that isn't relying on her attacking necessarily. But, well, we'll see. If units within 3 spaces of an ally, grants attack speed defense res +5 to unit during combat, grants special cooldown charge +1 to unit per attack, only highest value applied, does not snack, and restores 7 hit points to unit after combat. So that's a very solid speed C slot, not speed slot, C slot. +5 ball stats is above what you can normally get from a C slot skill. And most importantly, special acceleration. She's got special acceleration, she's got guard. She is an infantry unit, so I mean, Null Sea Disrupt in her C slot, you could easily swap, in her B slot, you could easily swap out for tempo. There's a lot of things you could swap out for here, actually. Yeah, very interesting all around. Does this unit have a metagame place? I'm not sure. I mean, they've got some very good stuff. Most importantly, they've got flat damage reduction is like the most important special skill they've got. They've also got slaying, and they've got full special control with their guard and with their acceleration. So there's that. The thing I'm not sure about is why they seem to be building this unit as an enemy phase sort of thing, what with the Null Sea Disrupts and everything, because, well, I mean, if she's anything like her regular pool version of the unit, the non-legendary Guinevere, she's going to have high speed, she's going to have high res, she's going to have pretty pitiful defense. And if that's the same here, you've got a bit of an issue, because it seems like they want her to tank tomes and staffs primarily. I mean, Null Sea Disrupt is there for that, right? Dragons as well, but she doesn't have near close counter to actually counterattack against dragons. So, But if you're tanking at range, tomes and staff, you've still got to watch out for physical ranged units. There's not a lot of options necessarily for putting yourself in a position where you're just tanking tomes and staff, especially since recently some of the ranged physical units have been getting quite strong. Like, look at our last legendary Hinoka, is pretty much a good baseline for what kind of problems can these ranged physical units be causing for me. Just take a look at her. So that being said, I wonder if she has the right skills here. The damage reduction on Null Sea Disrupt 4 is good. However, I wonder if maybe you want to build her more player phasey, because, okay, stacking damage reduction with flat damage reduction is, we've already decided, one of the best combos in the game. If you go player phase on her, instead of a speed res finish, stick on something like Remote Sparrow, maybe Remote Mirror, depending on which of speed or res you want more of. Use her special control to get a big special off. And then you try and outspeed them and kill them with that big special while surviving their counterattack thanks to your combination of damage reduction and flat damage reduction. I think that could be a more viable build, maybe, especially since you've got slaying as well. I'd love to see what people come up with like this. I don't think she's necessarily like a peak meta unit. She's got two very good effects, but there are some effects she's missing. Like, I haven't even mentioned the fact that despite being a fast unit, I don't see any follow-up manipulation in this kit. She doesn't have an NFU built in. So yeah, I don't think she's going to be the strongest unit around, but there's definitely a lot to work with here. Yeah. Basically, what I'm saying is play around with builds on her a bit. You can probably come up with something more applicable than this. Let's see what her animations are like, because, I mean, Aureola was a great weapon. She's probably going to do something quite fancy here. Yeah, taking 6 damage from the 4. That is what we love to see. And the iceberg. Okay, it's pretty similar to old Aureola, actually. Still, I like it. And against Fraseer here. Again, 6 damage taken, flat damage reduction doing a lot, and the iceberg hits very, very hard. Who else is on the banner? Let's take a look. We have Hel, we have Ulla, we have Xander, we have Aska, we have Veronica, we have Alia, we have Chloe, we have Femordis, we have Jeffrey, we have Legendary Yuri, and we have Haith. That's that. Okay, so again, I'll do a normal color by color analysis, but I'll also tell you, okay, the thing I was potentially very excited for did not happen. The thing I was potentially very excited for being, of course, the return of Guidance 4 on a summonable banner, because I need more Guidance 4. I need more Guidance 4. I need so much more Guidance 4. The moment Guidance 4 comes back on a banner, I am sniping it so gosh darn hard. But it's not here. It's not here, so we're not getting it this time around. Color by color. Colorless is very good. Okay, if you want the new unit, the new Guinevere, which, I mean, there's a lot of reasons to want her, right? That's her, right there. And then you've got Aska, who still a very strong offense unit. His Times Pulse is great support, his applying for resonant buffs is great support, and he's also solidly tanky and a Gale Forcer in his own right. You can do a lot with Aska. You can also move with Aska, but let's not talk about that. And for Mortis, still one of my favourite mythics out there. One of the units who is kind of saving Anima Season at the moment. Just a great save unit all around, and actually is useful outside of his role as a mythic as well, because you can use him in other modes, you know? You can use him in other modes, and he does a lot there too. So I think Colorless is a very strong colour so long as you want those units. As always, like, mythic merges are important, right? And Guinevere. We love Guinevere. Red, I think, is my next favourite here. Legendary Veronica is, of course, a real meta shaper at the moment, as like one of the strongest cavalry nukes out there who really punishes your opponents for using supports. Alia is the fastest unit in the game, and that means a lot. That means so much. It means so much in a time where there are so many god swords running around like they own the damn place. Being able to just slap down Alia and say, okay, this is what we're doing today. We're winning speed checks against you. There's nothing you can do about it. That is powerful. You can see Alia on some of my previous Anima defenses, and she really has been doing a great job of whatever it is she's doing. And Legendary Yuri has some unique fodder, has a kind of unique role, well, a role he kind of shares with Yuri, the non-legendary version, but you guys love Yuri. And there he is. So red, again, another strong colour. I think most of us would be happy of getting any of these 3 red units. Blue or maybe green. Blue and green are both kind of the colours of this banner. I think blue may be a little bit stronger. Maybe Ulla is still a really good offense mythic, and you know what I say, you kind of want at least one copy of every offense mythic if you're playing Eighth Raid's offense, just so that you have a bonus unit every season. But also Ulla just hits very hard, and she still hits very hard, even though it's 2023 now and there are way stronger tanks than there used to be. Ulla can still do a lot, especially, being able to deadeye people or being able to instant AoE people. Both of those are very valid strategies with Ulla. Chloe, pretty strong, can use Pegasus Flight 4. Or no, was she Guard Bearing 4? I think, was she? I don't remember which skill she was, but she had a skill that was good. It might have been Guard Bearing 4. If it was Guard Bearing 4, then that's actually extremely valuable. Let me just check. No, okay, I tell a lie. Guard Bearing 4 was Ingrid. Chloe is not nearly as good as I thought she was. But if you want Pegasus Flight 4, or she has her distant counter as well, the like res one, I forget what it's called, for res distant counter, that's good fodder. Jeffrey, I honestly don't remember what Jeffrey did. So we're probably not too excited about pulling a Jeffrey, but I mean, he's probably good for something, right? So one kind of really strong unit there, the others maybe not so much. And likewise, green, Legendary Xander, we don't talk about him. Mythic Hell, still kind of a cool unit, might be worth something because remixes are going to happen eventually for her. But for the time being, there are better mythics on Dark. But then Hafer is really good. Hafer's really flipping good. I've been playing with Hafer this offense season, and she has been doing a lot. So don't discount Hafer. But the other two units in green, I mean, I'd still not turn down getting copies of them, sure, but I wouldn't be explicitly pulling for them. So yeah, if I'm pulling this banner, which honestly I think I am, I'd like a copy of Guinevere, I'd like some Femoris or Asker merges, and all the red units I'd be happy with getting as well, right? So I'm probably pulling to Spark on this one. Those are the two colours I'm pulling on. As for you guys though, let me know what you're going for, what kind of build you'd run on Guinevere, because again, I think she's the first unit in a while who's come out with a base kit that's not actually her strongest build. And if you're pulling for her at all, actually, do you want Guinevere? Do you think she's good? Do you think she's mid? I think she's kind of mid, but still worth having. Yeah, tell me all of that, and I'll see you all next time. Penrost out.